when we've done interviews of our 19, 20 participants who graduated the program, they say the most important thing has been the feedback from people with lived experience. However, you're totally right. In the moments, sometimes, there's been a situation when someone's been told their product actually doesn't work at all, and they have to go back to the design board after years and years of work. How is that received? I think, it's all about the environment you create where everyone is clear that everyone's trying to move towards the best possible experience to improve the lives of people with spinal cord injury. If we can align on that, it's not perfect, but then the place where this feedback is coming from, it's not personal. It's about wanting the innovation to succeed, but sometimes succeed is not in the path that the innovation thought. And I think a lot of people in the program have talked about there's a culture of candor in the program and honest, respectful, but firm feedback. And it's something, it's a personal value to me because we don't get better, but it needs to be constructive. It's not personal. And so I would say the program, there's a lot of not very Canadian style, but, open feedback, but wanting to create a culture of respect because everyone has a voice. There's a lot of reasons why healthcare is not completely agile, and we can go and have a philosophical discussion about it. But there are parts such as feedback that are actually quite iterative, and the faster we do it and the faster we bring the right people at the table to have constructive brainstorming sessions, the better. And so I think where we are able to pull those pieces from that model for healthcare to rapidly increase the pace of innovation, we do that. But that doesn't take away from the diligence needed in clinical trials and the diligence needed in regulatory processes, which not only through internal Praxis resources with our amazing clinical research network, but through external resources, we hope to get right as well. From the person with lived experience, I think it was a really interesting journey because first, when we worked with our really experienced team, they're community liaisons in the community, so they really knew how to engage. What was novel to them was that they weren't being surveyed, and they said to me, Arushi, I'm repeating myself to this company every week. And I said, great, you're a coach now. That's what feeling like a coach is. You're not being asked your opinion once and bye-bye. Until they've heard you, you're going to keep coaching them. And that might take 3 months. And so that's what coaching is like. It's not, you're not being surveyed how you feel, and then someone takes the data in a black box and you never see it again. You're hearing if they've not heard you, and you will work, to make sure they hear what your concern is or what your need is. And until they have, you're coaching them on that. And that takes time and that takes repetition. And so that, I think, experience is what something people with lived experience have talked about. But I think it's also, it is an intense experience for them because they're talking to this company all the time. But I think it's really built a lot of competencies in a consumer team where they're understanding, patenting, they're understanding regulatory. And so now the way they view a product themselves and in the community, I think it's making people with lived experience more and more educated in advocating for what kind of product they want, what should be invested in. And I think that's only a positive. It all sounds great, but it's actually living that. It's not low energy. It takes a lot of energy, but I think it's worth it because I think that's what's needed to move these innovations forward. A lot of times this feedback hasn't been shared, hasn't been really worked on. And so we're sitting with innovations that could have been moved on faster or let go of 5 years ago. And whenever I think about the feedback we're giving, I'm thinking this provides clarity to the innovator.